Do you feel like they can't go
Radiant team
plus
pick.
5 in a way to deal with the Phoenix?
Mirana.
Yeah, I was going to say like Snap or Mirana. Snap was actually banned out. So I was like, if you go AA, then you now really need your last 2 cores to deal with the Supernova. And Lifesteal is already gone. Ursa's gone. So Jug's
Juggernaut.
looking pretty
10
good right now for
seconds
South
remaining.
built.
Yeah, I mean, it's good against the Mars, it's good against the Phoenix, it's good
5
against the Lion.
seconds remaining.
I would have just gone AA Jug as my next 2 picks if I was drafted for South built, just because you've already got the puck, right? So many times one of the big issues with the AA pick is that, you know, we saw that time around the 4-stuffs essentially just stopped its effectiveness. But if you're 4-stuffing someone out of a puck coil, they're going to take at least some kind of damage. So they had very easy setup to enable it to happen. They're not going to go down that route, and Boom are going to respond with a Luna. So very much protected by the Mars
10
arena for
seconds
sure. I'm sure
remaining.
Dreamer Cell and FBZ are going to be playing around each other a fair amount.
5 seconds remaining. Dire
It does seem
team
like
back.
Luna is one of those
Night Stalker.
ranged position 1 heroes that doesn't really care about people getting on top of you. Like, you actually like to stand your ground and turn a man fight. You need items to do it, but it does get to a stage where you're pretty happy with being the one in the middle of the fight. So I guess that puck
You do need that base level of farm though, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because that's a big issue with the hero. Like, you don't have high attack range at all. So this is where
10
stuns are going to
seconds
come into
remaining.
play so you don't get kited. And this is where farm, like you said, is going to
5
really come into
seconds
play. Because if you
remaining.
don't have Butterfly, Satanic, Sanjin Yasha / Manta, whatever the item is going to be, then you see the prowess of the Luna not really feel involved in a game.
Now, the good thing about South Built's draft here as well is that
Dire
all of these
team
heroes have some form of mobility and escape. You know, Tusk can snowball through an arena to get away. Mirana can leap quickly enough. Puck can Illusory Orb or even, hell, Waning Rift over it. Nightstalk, Dark Ascension, and you're flying and you get over the Mars arena. So that's going to be really nice, even just for running away from a Phoenix, running away
10
from an
seconds
Eclipse.
remaining.
So Boom, the pressure's on them a little bit more to actually be
Radiant
on
team
point
back.
with their lockdown before they commit with some of these high impact ultimates.
Do you like the Night Stalker getting picked up? Because I think in terms of not dealing with the
10
Supernova,
seconds
I think
remaining.
you now are very reliant on your position 1, because
5 seconds
the
remaining.
Phoenix Egg will turn it today, so Night Stalker is going to lose a lot of his attack speed. But overall in game, I don't mind how the Night Stalker is going to play. I just feel like you really have to be ahead then and have this position 1 hero for Marb that deals with the Supernova. But they've gotten rid of a majority of them.
Jug has finally removed from the pool now by Boom. I felt like that would have been a fantastic pick for him. I mean, I don't hate the Night Stalker. The thing is, like, you might force a less than ideal usage of the Supernova, and then you're just able to run away. You know, Night Stalker's job, even if you end up using the Dark Ascension and you don't get the maximum attack speed out of it because Phoenix just turns it back into daytime for the duration of the Supernova, you're going to be able to stop that Sun Ray, whether it be with a Crippling Fear or the Void. It's going to mean that Kescute's going to need to be on point, or hide, depends who's playing it, with where they're positioning themselves in the trees. But you still got that flying vision as the Night Stalker, so you're at least going to be able to catch him at the very start. And you mentioned the fact that Luna, well, you're happy to be up in the middle, in the guts of these team fights. Razor's very happy with that as well.
Do you like the Razor getting picked up?
10 seconds
I don't hate it.
remaining.
They just seem like they want to up the
5
tempo a little
seconds
bit here,
remaining.
South built. Their laning stage, last game wasn't that great. Previously, it hasn't actually been that awful. It's been when the teamfight cohesion has been lacking that they've been exposed somewhat. But if they're able to get a good start with these lanes that are looking okay, were looking okay,
no.
until the Broodmother gets picked up for FBZ. Oof.
24th
Good luck.
pick Brood. Oh, it
Mhm.
hurts. It hurts so much. Oh, what about now? It can change just like that. Any 24th pick can make a change, but especially when you pull out something like a Broodmother, which can really reveal the weaknesses that you have in a lineup when you don't deal with a Brood.
Now, this just might be the Australian in me talking, but with this cosmetic, does Does Brute's face look a little cute? Like, look at those big eyes.
No, what?
Come on.
10
Like,
seconds
as
remaining.
far as Brood cosmetics look, there were some horrifying looking ones. I don't think it was one that was even released, but someone released like a pure, like a Black Widow, like redback looking guy, and it was terrifying. This guy, he looks like, he just wants to be your friend. He's just going to deal with the mosquitoes, live in the corner, and, not have too worries.
I'm going through the brood sets right now. There are definitely some. Oh, yeah. Okay. If you look at the other ones, you definitely say that's probably quotations cuter than the rest.
It's just the big eyes that do it for me. Like the jumping spiders. The spiders that I don't mind are jumping spiders, those tiny little buggers.
Yeah, but they don't. You know why you don't mind them? Because they're not freaking redbacks and they're not goddamn
Correct.
white tails. Like they're nothing. They're like daddy long legs. You don't give
Exactly.
a damn about that.
Daddy longlegs are jumping spiders, a-okay in my books. Let the world be infested with not infested. Let the world be having a few of those, and maybe some of the smaller, non-venomous ones. But even those can look a little bit scary at the times. But FBZ's Broodmother, he is looking scary for South Built because they do not have a lot of ways to deal AoE damage. It's basically all going to be on Bob at the very start. Honestly, not even at the very start, all throughout.
Now it does feel like South Built have a very fast-paced lineup where they're going to have to look to. They're going to have to look to play ahead. I'm worried that if they have a little bit too many mistakes, then they won't be able to team fight because
Prepare
you
for battle.
still don't deal with a supernova at all. And then Mars with an eggs dropped in the middle, the lion protection as well. Luna's going to get to a stage where if you ignore the Luna to hit the egg, or Dreamer Cell will just rip you apart in such a close proximity with the glaives bouncing through. So I really feel like South Built have a lineup where they really have to keep the tempo going fast. And if it kind of slows down at any stage this game, and if you let Dreamer Cell to free farm, then you could see this game get out of hand.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely need to be a lot more active this time around. We talked about redbacks in the draft. I mean, I kind of feel like that's what FBZ is. Look at that. Look at that ad.
Where is he?
It's like a hurricane combined with a redback on his back.
Yeah, it's the well, like not the well. It's like a little polywell looking wonky thing. Back.
Malevolent Mother back is what it's called.
Yeah, this is actually the set I was going to bring up another time. I mean, I think Sam H has it. Like, the back just looks wonky. Definitely not the scary broods like we're used to seeing. I don't know about you, but I get nightmares when I have a brood in the game.
Battle begins.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, you don't even see many brood
Arrow
pickers.
comes through. Doesn't connect onto anyone.
Not in ranks, at least. Unless you're like a filthy brood player. Like, maybe you run into the deep depths of these neckbeards with their level 25 broods. But it's only...
I've come up against level 30 broods,
yes,
that's when the real terror
let's
starts to
go.
kick in.
That's when you got all the Dorito packs on the ground, the energy drinks stocking up. That level 30 brood, you really actually have to have like a vendetta against people just to want to play the brood.
You could literally feel the sweat dripping off of them, Like, that's how hard they want to win this game, the fact that they would grind that many Broodmother games. And that's what makes me very happy as being a Wyvern spammer, because it's one of the few supports that can actually deal with it in the lane and not let it get off to an amazing start.
Get to see... It's going to be South Built, so for Enryuth, he can kind of even up on that last game. FBZ on the performance of the Night Stalker is like, you know what? I saw him have a pretty good game. I want to test it out for myself as well. But you've got a big task to equal up to here for Enryu if he's able to do the job like FBZ did last game.
Perfect.
I wonder how much like Dreamer Cell is actually going to want to be part of a lot of these team fights as well, because we've seen how great he is if you give him time to be able to sit back and farm. Luna, one of those flash farmers as well. If you choose to go into the Manta style, you even can... Oh, they got a kill here onto Sam, mate. There we go.
Nope.
First blood.
Love to see it. First blood picked up. Top as well. Hide.
The dark moon.
All right, click. Mob's able to find her. This is a pretty scary lane. Razor with the toss, so the tag team. And Mob is someone who's got a lot of physical damage once you're able to get that link. But once this lane kind of goes for an extra minute or two, how do you feel like it's going to fare? Does it get a little bit easier for the Brood?
I think it's going to be much easier. You know, you're going to have a lot more of that mobility. The thing is, though, your Insatiable Hunger, it was nerfed, so it only has that 40% lifesteal now, and you're also going up into a Razor who's got 2 points to the static link. So, you know, a lot of the damage that you're going to be dealing back to lifesteal is going to be reduced. So, it's, you know, you're not going to be quite as sustainable in lane. So that means he's going to need to go off to the sides. Nice little pull here by Zenki to be able to deny, I believe it was just a couple of creeps in the creep wave. But still, every little bit against a Brood Mother matters. As Zenki, Hyde, they're going to try and combine together for blocking the stack. Hyde's still going to get the bounty rune for it, or actually ends up leaving it. Going to make sure Makoto has every tool that he can to be able to do well in this laning stage.
And it looks like Makoto is doing pretty well so far. 18 last hits, a little bit ahead of the puck, and I am intrigued to see how Makoto is going to be able to constantly hunt the puck this game. You know, more than likely, nice to temper the spear, but more than likely we'll see that you will scepter early. And you got to keep in mind as well, like the God's Rebuke little harass that you're able to do versus the puck, because of all that really low armor, can start to stack up. As Bob, mistake here. At least he's got the mobility coming through from the Waning Rift. Remember, like, feels like so long ago that the Waning Rift didn't have that little jump forward, but if that wasn't a thing for the puck, I wonder if this hero would still be as strong as what he is.
I feel like every little extra bit of mobility. I mean, you saw how quickly Ursa got back into the meta as soon as you gave him a little hop with his Ursa stock. Not only because, you know, kind of reduced the cast animation, but also allowed these little jukes to happen, give you some of that closing speed, plus the slow, that he was much more of an active laner. So, yeah, I feel like it's a big buff to be able to have. At this point, though, it'd be a shame to take it away. I love seeing these high skill cap heroes come through.
Yeah, very much. It feels like that's where position 2 players shine. Like on those very high skill gap heroes, Storm, Ember, Void, Puck, the list can go on. It's just the playmakers that can somehow get in, get out, survive on a slither of HP, make these crazy plays.
Hell, even the Tusk, you know, you talk about supports that are able to do it, he's definitely one of those.
Yep. Feels like it's always...
One other point that we haven't talked about as well, unfortunately, is that I don't know what happened, but it seems that Marb has lost his sponsor at the end of his name. He's just Interactive Philippines Marb now.
I didn't even notice. Was it their last game?
I think it wasn't their last game. It was definitely there yesterday, though.
What a sponsor to have. Damn, Marb's gonna be like, why'd they make me get rid of it? Maybe we're highlighting it a bit too much. Maybe. Sorry, Marb.
This is a man's livelihood we're talking about, but
maybe he'll get a different one.
Mm-hmm. They opted to go a little bit slower into the Urn of Shadows this time on Enryu. He finished up the Bracer and he has the infused raindrops for picking it up. But that's going to mean that now that it's 6 minutes, he's got a very good time to be able to rotate with the boots, with the completed Urn if he wants to. So he's going to get caught out with the first use of this Arena of Blood though.
Very nice. Makoto getting a solid kill there. Just any little influx of gold that this Mars is able to pick up and closer to the phase boots. He didn't get the rune, which is a bit unfortunate. He's still got a bounty to go back and get the refill if he wants to do so.
Really in a position to try and go on to a kill on Dreamer Cell there. He's got the infused raindrop, so he's going to be able to tank up a bit of magic damage, but you can see Zenki, they're wanting to make maximum use out of this Urn as quickly as possible, but a double stun from KezQ. Nicely done.
KezQ. The play on the line to get the double stun
He's
to
alive?
eat the arrow. and almost stay alive as well. That is... Yes, he dies. Doesn't matter. You keep the Luna alive. You get her out of that lane. Dreamer Cell's going to go mid now. So we'll see the Mars. He's going to be fulfilling this role. Yeah. The tempo controlling role that he wants to fulfill now. Give the Luna the mid lane, which is... You know, she might need one more level until we can see her go back to the jungle. And then you'll see like a support takeover. But the issue is you know, with what they have on Boom, that Dreamer Cell can't... Oh, actually, here's Dark Ascension. Hyde's got dive, but even if he gets away from Enryu, then he'd still be able to chase. That's Dark Ascension now used, and it's got a pretty long cooldown.
You gotta wait though. You gotta wait before dropping that arena. Enryu's just hanging around. They use the stun, so they're not gonna be able to stop him from making this rotation here as FPZ. He's already taken out more than half of the tower's max HP, and the rotations are coming through. Will he be able to TP away quick enough before Marb and Zenki catch up to him? Ooh, a little bit of a slow.
Are they gonna go this deep for it? FBZ? He needs help. Another web, but it's not enough. Look at the spiders though on Mob. If Kezcute can lock him in, the spiders should have the damage afterwards, and they do. So Kezcute's gonna die again. We see multiple times now that the Lion has at least enabled something from the map.
He's been well worth it though. You know, you've given up your kill a couple of times, but one to kill the Brood, another one to save your Luna. So he's doing exactly what he needs to do as this Lion. Perhaps maybe rotating a tiny bit sooner would have ended up saving FBZ. I don't think they were expecting the Tusk to rotate on through as well at the same time. But FBZ just goes straight on back up top. Tower's nearly dead. And he's just going to allow the creep wave plus the little spiderlings to deal with it.
Okay. Very nicely played from Southkill. Couple kills across the map. And we see Mob this time is top of the network. So Razor now getting involved. Gets the kill on Makoto. With these three, they're going to try and look to put a little bit of work done on the T1 tower. This is a bit of an issue about the Broodmother as your 3. He was not going to be able to get
involved.
You're
not like a Night Stalker. Yeah. You don't join the team fight.
And I feel like it's showing right now that like Luna early on is really not as strong. The Mars is definitely not as high tempo controlling like some other mid laners. So if you don't have... Like it really feels like Mars position 2 needs to snowball pretty heavily. And if you don't do so, then you're now going to be reliant on like a Phoenix and Lion to be making the plays. And well, Phoenix can't do that and Lion needs the levels.
Actually land the stun onto him. He's not going to continue to commit, obviously realizing that they're probably going to have a few reinforcements nearby, which they did. So that would have been horrible to lose your top net worth core at this stage of the game. Luna's doing a decent enough job himself though, and you can see here, look at this massive stack that Hyde's been able to build up for him, right as he's got the Mask of Madness timing as well on the Luna. With the DD, I mean, did you need any extra health? And the Possess Bots, come on, Dreamer Cell. How much luck do you want?
They're still hunting for him. Bob's ability is on cooldown. He's thinking about diving, but this is really greedy. And Ryu's going to scout out the rotation. Silence prevents the spear. But another Earth Spike disrupting a lot of the damage from Enryu. And now the team has just left the Night Stalker on an island. He gets no help. He's like, guys, I'm with you for this deep dive, but all of a sudden they just dip out of there.
I'm still just disgusted by Dreamer Cell getting all of this luck at the same time.
Oh, it's a fat stack.
Fat stack, DD, Possessed Mask. Filthy. Just filthy. And he clears the wave just in time for the next Ancient stack to spawn.
I mean, Barb was top of the net worth. Now somehow is 900 gold behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's Luna things, Ancient things as well. And we kind of brought it up in that game 1 that Boom are a team who do a really, really solid job of constantly creating these stacks for your cores and showing this second game too.
Yeah, it's going to have a fight into a fight. Double Dream Call getting off early Supernova pop. That should be enough. Oh, it's Kezcute again? No.
Hey, he'll get brought down.
Kill him up, bro.
Yeah, you see what they're able to dish out with those ability usages. Like, you get 2 and it's slowing down the Razor. What an Earth Spike. At least that Supernova burnt them down and Radiant just coming on forward, and now they're going to put a little bit of damage. I say a little. This tier 2 actually will fall without glyph.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You got Dreamer still up here. I mean, that's the downside of ganking a Broodmother, right? We talked about the fact that you're an independent position 3. You want to be taking away space from the enemy team, but if your team comes to him and they just so happen to have some reinforcements in the area, Brood's still able to dish out a ton of damage, don't get wrong. He just doesn't want to leave the lane.
Yeah, this is something where it comes into that team play. Like, EpiZ can't really join fights across the map. But if you now have a team that is able to recognize that and then smoke and force a fight where the Brood wants to be, then that's where we're going to see EpiZ really getting involved. And I believe this is pipe now completed as well for the Broodmother. So it's just further utility.
Get away.
Tower is under attack.
Heavy commitment though, and Mirana doesn't have mana to use anything.
Bob, I don't know if you're going to be able to kill off the Broodmother. Pipe use, arrows flying. It gets the connection. Snowball follow-up. They're really disjointed at the moment on South, but the damage just is not there with Bob getting controlled from the spear. Then they're going to have to retreat back behind the T1 tower. Close the distance on the safety of the tier 2. I say safety. It will not be that at all. As Boom will make it a third. Kodo's still hunting, but the Mirana's got a couple leap charges, so that's just nice. 3 for naught, and also an objective to the name.
And we can see here from Makoto going straight into that Yule Scepter as well. He's only about 400 or so gold away. Didn't have the most amazing start, but same can be said for both mid laners, I suppose. But yeah, that I know it's only 13 or so minutes in. That kind of already felt like a last-ditch effort where, you know, we have to get something out of this Dark Ascension. We got to try and get a kill. We went this Urn of Shadows and don't have many charges left on it. They try and get something happening in here onto Makoto. This would be a pretty big deal. Supports are there.
See the damage that the Tusker Mirana can dish out here, so...
They just got to keep going. Keep your foot on the pedal. He just used Arena. 80 seconds. It's not going to be available.
Oh, he's going
to have nighttime in 40.
Why is the Night Stalker going Ags?
I wanted to blink.
Yeah, you can't. It's too slow. You can't play that slow in this game. Like, maybe you're thinking... You have other heroes to kill off the Brood, like Spiderlings. Like Puck's gone Witchblade into phase shift attack more than likely. You're going to have Razor with the Plasma Field. You just have to go a fast-paced item build.
Buzz is just TPing all the way back in here. Doesn't even have the Arena, but you're not going to need that to kill something squishy like a Tusk. They needed the rest of their
look
team
at top! Oh, I hate watching a Brood do this. It's so frustrating. And imagine playing it. I think the tier 3 just lost about a third.
Yeah, for mine, they're just getting a little bit too greedy on South build. There's of course downsides to grouping everyone up constantly and trying to push down a single objective, but you know, obviously you're going to lose portions of the map with a Broodmother. The Luna's probably going to be farming, but you need to do some kind of move that's going to take away Boom's comfort in playing around this area of the map. And they don't even get the tier 1. Like, they don't have the strongest tower taking potential already. So I don't think you can just commit a Razor and a Tusk to try and take down a tier 1 tower. Can you imagine if tag team worked on towers? That'd be OP.
We already see the Tusk is a pretty OP support. Imagine if it worked on that. That'd be crazy.
Courier has been killed.
Could it be like a talent? Or even a shard? Because I feel like the Sigil's pretty crap.
It depends. If you're a team that either has terrible vision or relies heavily on it, like Sigil would be quite nice.
Do you feel like that's the only time you really pick it up? If like you need that vision?
I don't know. My micro is terrible. Like, I just avoid any hero that has any kind of micro components to it. So I'm probably not the one to ask here.
What are these spiders? So many in the pit. What do you do? What do you do against that?
You banned it before the 24th pick.
Very, very true. Very true. And like, this is now... How scary is it when you play versus Boom and you see that FBZ can now pull out a Broodmother? Like, we've just been
Radiant's
constantly
bottom
saying
tower
every
is under
series that,
attack.
like, another FBZ here, another FBZ here. And then now he gets a Brood 24th pick, and then they don't have an answer to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go looking back to this Night Stalker again. Puck's coming in. He's going to try and get a good Dream Coil off. They force the Glyph out, but actually cancels his TP. Don't think they knew that, but it's still going to mean he's going to take a while. I mean, he's eventually just running back to the base anyway, so a bit of a misplay coming through from Bob there, but Henry, he's just holding on to 1,500 gold. Like, that's not going to do anything now when they've taken Roche, they've taken all of the outer towers on the top side of the map, your tier 3 towers chunked down this low. It's basically going to need a misplay coming through from Boom where you get a couple of early pickoffs, you get some, well, at least he's got some earn charges already, but I don't know. It's going to take a miracle for them to come back into this. Smoke coming through, 5-man. Who can they catch? FBZ is placing himself on the front lines, realizing how tanky he is.
Bob, BKB pop. They try and soak drain the Brood Mother. Great coil as well, so Mob's gonna steal a lot of damage, but the arena just forces them to retreat away after getting the kill on FBZ. So Brood's claim, they can go back in. The Dark Ascension is about to wear off, and without the coil to catch, so Radiant, they can definitely turn it back around, and they're going to actually look to do that. DD picked up in the bottle from Dreamer Cell, so he's in fighting shape right now on the Luna.
DD, Manta Style, Aegis, hasn't used the Eclipse just yet either. Even very close to hitting his level 15 as well on the Luna.
And you got the outpost control. So like FBZ can just TP back in and DD pop. And now once you lose to the T3 tower, Man, oh, they missed the spear. Okay. Unfortunate there for Makoto, but now you lost the T3 tower. Yeah, and now
There's
you
waves
actually...
everywhere.
You can't do anything. Like, this set of barracks is gone.
It's like termites, you know, once you got them, it's so hard to get rid of them.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
She got... I mean, nighttime's about to expire as well. They've really got a minute of opportunity here. Manta instantly Dreamer Cell. Oh boy, indeed. Full set of racks claimed up top. They can look mid to try and take that T2 tower next.
Yeah. It just felt like South Bit have missed their timing. You know, they have this strong early game lineup. I think they were 3 and 7 was the kill score at one point, and they had a decent amount of control throughout the map. But you know, I feel like their last chance that they had was when the Mars used that arena. They had to all group up together and try and make something happen because you know that you can't contest against them.
Fraser? He's gonna get clipped. Nice defensive snowball. Mob still brought down. Doesn't want to pop the BKB. And now you really got an issue of the glaives bouncing through on the tier 4s. What do you do? Look at them go to work.
He just passively
drop.
taking down some tier 4 towers.
Puck's gonna get caught. Supernova drop directly in the middle. There's just nothing it feels like Southport can do once Boom just get the ball rolling. And it looks like they sense it as well. They're just going to try and deal with the tier 4 towers. There's still a tier 1 down bot. They're like, yeah, it doesn't even matter. Let's get the glaives going to work and let's end this series 2-0.
GG's called 20 minutes in. Very dominant performance coming out from Boom despite a decent laning stage from Southport. But there was just no scaling potential, especially when you consider the Brood Mother last pick. So that's going to be an unfortunate... is that 0 and 8 or 0 and 10, I believe?
0 and 10, I think. Which is... not the start you were looking for. We'll go with that.
Yeah. I mean, they're playing against Little Gun tomorrow. They might have a chance. They're sort of down towards the bottom of the leaderboard as well, being 1 and 7 in their own right. But, Boom. Just looking very impressive. It wasn't the highest kill game that we were expecting. Particularly, I feel like Southport just took their foot off the pedal a little bit there. But, yeah, Boom. They executed their strategy exactly how they wanted to. I want to give that MVP to KezQ. I feel like he was fantastic in the early stage. Nothing hyper flashy as the game got early on, and of course he's not your win condition, but he was just in the right place at the right time, landing multi-hero stuns over and over again, and just doing his job.
Yeah, just another game where all of Boom feel like they're doing a job. Their perfect performance. Just the synergy that this team has is it's really a treat to watch, especially like we were saying, you know, how they unfortunately got relegated. They've come back really dominant so far for them. They're top of the table, 8-2 currently after that. And that's Boom's only series for today, but we still got 3 more series here for the Loopbet Pro Series 6. Next up, we're going to have SMG taking on Galaxy Racer. So that's going to be quite the exciting matchup. We'll send it to about a 20-minute break, and then we'll have our second series of the night.